Hi, welcome back to another review by Easy the Artist. Today we'll talk about some Copic markers. I love Copic markers. Copic markers have always been really nice to me. I wish that there was a possible way to, get these bad boys for free because, man, I use them on a daily and I run out on it daily. It's killing me, and money is just not making enough to do it, getting donations enough to continue using just Copic markers. Love them to death though. The majority of my artwork's done with them. I love them for skin tones. And what I like about them, comes with two different types of nibs. As you can see, the chiseled, and then there's the brush. Which is awesome. They also have big ones, but I'm going to make a video about that by itself. So these are the twin side Copic markers. These are the Copic stretch. I definitely recommend these, and everybody even knows that these are like the bomb. So I just want to show you some of the things that I like to do with them. Well, at least just the skin tones this time. So check this out. As you can see, they can blend really well if you take the time and you use them. But as you can also see, there are times when it's pretty stiff. So me personally, I like to go over and over one spot until it kind of bleeds itself into blending, which is a technique I've been using for all of my artwork, and that's why I kind of end up with very limited time with my markers before they run out. What I do want to give you a heads up about Copic markers is they're expensive if you go for the marker. I recommend that you do both the marker and the actual ink bottles, which I'll show you in another video. Those ink bottles are amazing. They will save you a lot of money in the long run. So please trust me when I say you should invest in the ink bottles. You like $20 per marker, Aaron? Yes, I recommend that you pay the $20 per marker, because that $20 that you put into that one color is going to last you for weeks and months and perhaps a year, depending on what type of medium you use. So $20, well worth it. Only $10, you got a month or one large piece and then you're done. Trust me. So definitely want to invest in more than just the marker itself. The second thing that I want to say about Copic markers is what I've noticed is that when you go back over a certain spot way too much, you'll start to see it kind of change. It's not as smooth anymore, which I'm using mixed media paper. I think it's 163G, so that may also be the problem. I may not be using the correct paper. That is my favorite paper to use, so I would recommend that you experiment with it. I've also used Copic markers on different items as well, like vinyl. Vinyl is very interesting. As soon as you put it on there, it's there. Like one swipe is there. Going back over it, you have now added a layer. It is now darker. So the technique of going back over and over to blend it is a lot more difficult on things like vinyl paper or vinyl sticker. So if you're going to use Copic markers on vinyl, please trust me when I say it's going to dry really quick. It's not going to kind of sit on the paper and kind of spread itself out. It's going to go directly where the line is. Other things I've used it on regular paper, like copier paper. It definitely bleeds really well on there, and it takes off. So if you're going to use this on regular paper, it will spread itself out really fast, and you could end up bleeding all over the place. So be careful with that. Other things I've learned with the Copic markers is that when you want to refill, you want to take this side nib off. Do not take the other side nib off. It will come apart. It's like a two-piece. I would like to show you that. As you can see, it's two different pieces, and it just rips right off. And it doesn't seem to stick itself back on there. So that sucked. That is something I found out. So make sure that you do it on the chisel side and not on this side, not the brush side. If you choose to refill these, the other thing that I've learned is that while refilling them is really smart choice. You could also end up bleeding out whenever you use the marker, like it could bleed out. Like you refill it and then you put it on the paper and it just. So what I like to do is I like to use what I call squeeze. Like you squeeze it once and then you just start using it. Trust me, it may not seem like it's a lot in there, but I've squeezed for, counted 1, 2, and then the next thing you know, I could finish a whole piece with just that, which I think is a lot better than putting too much into there and then it kind of bleeding all over the place and ruining the picture that you just got done doing. I want to show you an example of that. So I'm finishing up this piece right here, and I'm going to go ahead and add some ink into this bottle, meaning into this one. I'm going to add way too much, and I'm going to show you the result of it. As you can see, it's really damp. This one's not bleeding out, but usually it would just start dripping automatically, which means there's way too much in there. So let's go ahead and put the tip on. And we'll close the nib top.